All right, champ. Let's get into some football, but college football. Brian Kelly, after that game against Texas A&M, after a 34-14 record since what he became the head coach in 2020, 2021, he is fired after 4 years. What was it now? 4 years, 5 years at LSU.
Hmm.
He's fired with a 34-14 in record. The buyout, it was reduced. It went from 54 million to now 27 million. Look, obviously it's no surprise Brian Kelly was fired. He just couldn't get the job done. He was supposed to help deliver the goods for LSU to at least get them to the college football playoffs, at least a national championship appearance. And his successor, Marcus Freeman, although he has not won a national championship, at least he's done something with Notre Dame by getting to the college football playoffs and going to a national championship game. A lot of LSU fans are kind of happy. That felt like Brian Kelly wasn't their type of guy, especially when he had that fake Southern accent. Come on, champ. Even you, a Southern guy yourself, even thought his Southern accent was horrendous.
Nobody likes a phony, number one, and you can always tell that there was a grudging process in Louisiana, in the state of Louisiana, and Brian Kelly. Remember one of his first press conferences, he was talking, and one of the women reporters said, "Well, why don't you win then?"
And
Now
he got
remember that?
into an attitude with the
Yeah, he got
female
an
reporter
attitude with it.
when the
There was
female
always
reporter was asking a legit question.
Yeah. So yeah, there was always a grudging process between them. And look, man, LSU, even if it is for a year or two, they're used to winning championships. From Nick Saban to Les Miles to Coach O himself. So they're used to being in contention and winning national championships. And now that the college football playoff is here, bowl games don't mean much. They're pretty much participation trophies at this point. They're pretty much participation trophies at this point. Don't be surprised if one day we see a 16 team playoff and we no longer see bowl games. Don't be surprised if that happens because nobody's watching these bowl games. Nobody's paying attention to them. There used to be a time where if the Music City Bowl game was playing and they said a top 25 team was playing, you pay attention.
I think the only time champ they only pay attention to the bowl games because top prospects heading into
Yeah.
the NFL draft they're more interested in, but nobody really pays that much to
And
the
these
bowl
guys
games,
and the guys are opting out of the bowl games. It's like I'm not playing this stuff so I can
right? To
get hurt.
which, but again, champ, he came up short of expectations. And look, you saw James Franklin, he got fired after over a decade at Penn State.
Mike Gundy.
Billy Napier.
Yeah. It,
So at some point in time, you're gonna lose your luck. And LSU, they decide to let him go. And plus, have you heard like some of the players in the past who have said negative things about Brian Kelly?
yeah. In particular, Kyron Lace's father, uh, who said, he never called them. Remember the young man, I forget his name, that was in the accident, very, very bad accident that ended up on the pivot, who is been very, is, you get what I'm saying. So he was on the
I
pivot.
get, and
And
also Andrew Whitworth.
yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna just be real. Brian Kelly, he should have stayed at Notre Dame. Should have stayed at Notre Dame. He is a prime example of what happens when you try to put the cherry on top of your career and you're just not that guy. You're not that guy. And the thing is, you took them to you took Notre Dame to a few college football playoff games. Good job, but you was not able to seal the deal. Now you're seeing that Notre Dame is a powerhouse without you, and you pretty much wasted two potential NFL quarterbacks' careers at LSU. Jaden Daniels should have been contending for a national championship, not just winning a Heisman. You had two Pro Bowl caliber wide receivers there. You had him, you had Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and
Brian
Brian Thomas. And you had
Brian
Kyron Wilson.
Thomas. Mm-hmm.
That's championship. Any other team, any other coach, national championship expectation. Then you had Britton, I can't say his last name, saved my life. Uh, Brent Musburger,
Who?
the LSU
No, you
quarterback.
said it right.
I said it right. Okay, cool. But
Brent what?
Musburger,
Zach Mustenberger.
Mussenberger.
He used to play with your Georgia Bulldogs as well, champ.
Yeah, you had him. He's projected to go at least in the top 5. He was projected to be a Heisman candidate this year. His career, no. So you came into there with all of this rah-rah mentality and you didn't deliver the good. LSU is used to national championship. Like I stated, Nick Saban, Les Miles, Coach O. And you're wide receiver you. And you've had 2 high caliber quarterbacks for your past 4 years. You haven't been able to do anything? Nothing. So,
Except
of course, you're going to get
34
fired.
4. Yeah.
You're going to. And the thing is, last couple of years, you had even more of a better opportunity to do so because SEC hasn't been as good as it once was. Up until this year, the last 2 years when the Big Ten was winning the national championship, SEC wasn't the SEC anymore. When you think
So what's
about
your excuse?
Alabama, they wasn't what they was at one point. You think about my Georgia Bulldogs, they, Carson Beck, we was dropping passes all over the place. We wasn't what we were supposed to be. The only team that was really something during these past few years was Texas. And you still couldn't capitalize.
The only team in the SEC, champ, that's been mostly consistent the past few years was your Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Because at least they were able to win a couple of national championships, at least get to the college football playoff, at least been to SEC championships. But the thing is with Brian Kelly, with the 34-14 record, 19-10 record, I do believe he'll still be a head coach in college football.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. But the question is, who's going to be the head coach? Who's going to be the replacement? And by the way, did you hear what Ryan Clark had to say on First Take regarding the LSU thing?
Oh, yeah, we'll save it for another day. But yeah, because Fly J. Johnson spoke on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, enough. I'm gonna say something without saying it. That's enough. Y'all have milked this damn thing dry. That's enough. You're quick to say leave politics out of sports, but yet every time you look around, you want to inject yourself into sport. Okay? So if you're going to tell everybody else to keep politics out of sports, then keep that same energy when you open your fat mouths and start talking about politics when it comes to sports. And want to put statues on campuses. We understand what he meant to a lot of people. We understand. I understand. May not agree with him, but I get it. But enough is enough. Enough is enough.
For those who may not know, what exactly what Champ is referring to, just for context, Ryan Clark, he publicly condemned and blasted Jeff Landry over LSU football and regarding the statue of Charlie Kirk.
Again, if you want to put it again, stop trying to put statues at football stadiums because you want political agendas to be pushed. But when football players or anybody else in relation to football make political statements, you want to say keep politics out of football. I have no problem with someone saying keep politics out of sports. It doesn't belong there. I have no problem with you saying that. But keep that same energy when it's somebody who you agree with. I'm not going
I
to
have no
tell
pro-
people. I'm not going to tell somebody keep steak out of the damn refrigerator. But then when I bring it, then all of a sudden we want to have a. Then all of a sudden we want to have a barbecue. Again, if you're gonna say keep politics out of sports, keep it all the way out. Stop trying to
but
bring it in just because when it's convenient and your little feelings gets into it and you want to bring statues out. Like I stated, again, if you're gonna say keep politics out of sports,
be
keep the
consistent.
same energy around the board. I'm not telling you that you can't build a statue. I'm not saying that. But guess what? It shouldn't be every time you look around. People have to talk about politics because guess what? And people have to, well, I would say this, people have to dance around what their beliefs are as far as politics are concerned. But then when somebody else says, well, we should do this, then all of a sudden it's, well, no. If you're going to say keep politics out of sports, keep it all the way out. That's all.
But
Like I say, keep the same energy across the board. I cannot say keep steak out of my refrigerator, but then I want to come in there and have a barbecue every Saturday and put steaks on the grill.
But you know how they
That's
are, big fella. They pick and choose, unfortunately, because we've had conversations like this, and and look, on behalf of the Sports PSP podcast, we're not going to shy away from these types of conversations.
yeah,
Look, we had conversations about Bad Bunny
yeah.
performing in the Super Bowl. None of us had a problem with Bad Bunny performing in the Super Bowl because
Again,
obviously he draws money, ratings, attention. But you don't want him on because obviously his position, how he feels about President Trump, how you say, well, he's from Puerto Rico, when again, it's from the United States, it's part of the U.S. territory, folks. Okay. Kind of like Stephen A. Smith made the mistake about Mike McDaniel. Yes, people, Mike McDaniel is black. But the thing is, champ, if you say you're going to keep politics out of sports, why in the hell do you want to do a statue of Charlie Kirk given the things that he has said, his bigotry, his racism and stuff? So that tells me, hey, that's how you feel, that's how you support, you agree with his viewpoints and standpoints. That tells me, hey, I know who you are, but stop telling us to shut up and play, or stop telling us to just stick to politics. Because when someone from Ryan Clark, who is an alma mater of LSU, is voicing his opinions regarding this, I have no problem with what Ryan Clark had to say, champ, as well as you. Because again, it's the blatant hypocrisy that I have a problem with.
again, now I'm gonna say it without saying it. If you're gonna say keep politics out of sports, keep it all the way out. I understand what someone may have meant to you. But in the great words of Public Enemy, Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant nothing to me.
Or Tupac's rhyme and Me Against the World. Politics and hypocrites, they don't want to listen.
Again, if you're gonna say keep politics out of sports, keep it all the way out. Scurry along. And maybe these athletes, if you kept your views out of sports, then guess what? Maybe these athletes will keep theirs out. But until you do, then guess what? I want you to do whatever. I want these athletes to say whatever they would like in order to voice their opinion. And I don't want to hear anybody tell them to shut up and dribble or anything like that. Because the thing is, it seems like to me, whenever it's comfortable, you want to start spewing it in sports. But whenever it's uncomfortable, all of a sudden your asses want to call it woke all of a sudden. I'm noticing patterns. See, I'm not a man of, certain things. I'm a man of patterns. And I recognize every pattern. I recognize every single pattern. See, the thing is, you want to tell sports, oh, it's woke. Oh my God. But whenever you agree with something, you want to say, well, I don't want to hear it. If you're going to say keep politics out of sports, keep it all the way out. Keep it out. And that way, we can tell the football players or whoever want to voice their opinion, we can tell them to keep the same energy. But the thing is, I don't want to see no hypocrisy across the board. If you want to keep politics out of sports, keep it out. That's fine. I have no problem with you saying that. But let's keep the same energy across the board. I don't want to see no deficiencies. If you're gonna tell me to stay out the kitchen when mama cooking, then guess what? You stay out the damn kitchen when mama cooking. I don't want to see you in mama's pot lifting up the lid, trying to take a piece of ham out the cabbage. Let's keep that same energy. Like I said, I get it. I get it. But the thing is, all of this stuff that we're doing right about now, it's getting ridiculous. And it's like if you're gonna sit around here and say keep politics out of sports, keep the same energy across the boards. That's all I ask. I'm not a big fan of double standards, and I'm not a big fan of bad patterns. If you're gonna keep a pattern, if you're gonna have a pattern, then keep it the same. You can't have plaids on one spectrum and then want to have stripes on the other. Again, keep the same energy, or else STFU when an athlete or anybody else gives their opinion about it. You can't sit around here and want to give your opinion about something, and then when Ryan Carter, Fly J. Johnson says something, all of a sudden it's an uproar, it's backlash. No, you want to put yourself, look, if you want to put politics in sports business, no problem. But don't be surprised when those sports stars turn right back around and put themselves in political business. What can
Because
we say?
obviously
You
times have
put yourself,
changed. Because obviously,
obviously, you put yourself in that position. Keep the same energy across the board.
and
You
don't
want to say
expect.
politics don't belong in sports? You don't want sports to be woke. You don't want sports to be woke because you're so damn uncomfortable. If you don't want that, then keep it out.
Well, champ, as I always say, I'd rather be woke than guess what?
A joke. And
A-
again, like I
And when
said,
you when you see the people, they're reacting, the double standards, the hypocrisy, there's no other way to put it. And look, man, if you to your point, champ, I don't want you to say it because you already said it at least 6, 7 times. I don't want you to sound angry or aggravated. If you're gonna tell us to keep politics out of sports or for us not to have discussions about sports, then stop trying to incorporate politics. And by the way, politics have always been a part of sports.
how
That's
y'all think
inevitable.
stadiums are built with
How,
our money?
how do you think a lot of things were built, not just stadiums?
You gotta it. Stadiums are built with tax dollars, whether that be from hotels, whether that be from lottery money, whether it's built from tax dollars. It's public money. It's
But the
public
thing,
money that has impact on the economy. And guess what? Since we want to talk politics, the thing is this: the Kansas City Chiefs, the most popular team in the NFL, by the way, they're in danger of moving out of Kansas City. Why? Because the voters don't want to vote in order to give them a new darn stadium. Politics and sports go hand in hand. We just can't pick and choose when we wanted to be in there. But
but
if a lot of
but
these,
as long as you align with yours, have at it. And that's the thing. I don't agree. I certainly don't agree with them commemorating having a statue for Charlie Kirk because how I feel about Charlie Kirk, the human being. I don't think that's someone that should be commemorated or celebrated even after his death. But my thing is, champ, the blatant hypocrisy. That is the problem that I have. I'd rather be woke than to be a joke.
like I
And
said,
speaking with Brian Kelly, no, you ain't got to say it anymore, champ. I don't want you to get any aggravated. You already said it enough. I'm trying to save you from yourself now. But speaking of with Brian Kelly, I have no problem with him being fired
yeah,
because he didn't live up to the LSU standards or the expectations. He had to be let go. He knew what was at stake. And when you hear the reports about former players and people who've been around him, that isn't enough for us as LSU to say, you know what, we're going to keep him. Because what's the point of keeping him and still we get these types of results and no championships and no college football playoff appearances to go along with it? Out you go.
Yep. All on hey, don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you.